eRacing GP Global Edition. We are at the bronze edition, round 2, race number 1, about to come through you. I'll sort my words out in just a moment. The season is a short season. It's only 3 races long with the Hungaroring. And the man we're looking at in just a moment, Yang Ming Chu, is leading the way in this Copper edition. I need to start all over again. Hello, welcome to eRacing GP. Glad you can join us. Round 2 of the short season. Alex Young alongside me. Alex, we're at the Hungaroring today, and we have now reached the bronze class. That's what I meant to say.
Yes, we are on the bronze class right now. We just had the copper. In the ad break, you would have seen the highlights of the gold, which is coming up later, and silver is also coming up later. But now we have the bronze. And shall we look at the championship table right now and see how that's going?
Well, the man who was leading the way was the man who was promoted from the copper class, Yang Ming Chu. He won that title, leads the way with 40 points ahead of Chester Lamb from Hong Kong with 30. Francis Matrio leads the Filipino charge in the top 8. You've got him and Andres Villanova and Aldo Ray Balagulam. Mohamed Zikri down at the bottom as well. Nico Sage is a young lad, but the man to beat certainly is Yang Ming Chu. In the Teams Cup standings, the Philippines are taking this pretty seriously, this short Global Edition 7. 100 points for Sim Racing Filipinas, 74 points for 7 Star Garage. It means that the others are going to have to really up their game in the next couple of rounds. And in the Nations Cup, Philippines leading the way from Malaysia. I think that is going to go all the way to the line. It's great, though, to see the likes of Italy making their move in the Nations Cup standings. Okay, we are just in practice with Dave Smart at the moment. There's 1 or 2 little glitches on the race room today, but we'll sort them out as soon as we possibly can. Some very familiar names, the likes of Clint Olive, has been racing with us for a long time, not able to get into the top pack. Are you expecting that 1 or 2 of these bronze guys will be improving? Because we haven't seen too many improve. The good names go right the way up the classes, but a lot of guys seem stuck in their territory.
Well, that's quite normal with all forms of motorsports, is when you especially got these different categories that you can aspire to. You will see the youngsters come in, and they come into copper, and they got more time in their hands. They don't have jobs, and they do it after school and stuff. And they tend to go up from copper to bronze, silver to gold quite quickly. A lot of these guys, though, and we have a wide spectrum of guys here, have day jobs or they go to school, so they can't put in the same amount of time. So some of them do get stuck in their own class for quite a while. Adam Contraloch is he's a copper driver, but he's been stuck in copper and doing bronze for over a year now. But you got some of the young ones, like you mentioned. You mentioned Yang Ming Chu at the moment. He won the copper class, didn't he? And there he is right now in the yellow Porsche. Yellow and black Porsche, and he won his very first race in bronze last weekend. So this is a driver that's improving in an incredibly quick rate.
Very quickly, we're around the Hungaroring. We've got a track view of the Hungaroring, and it was difficult from previous races that we saw earlier on today. Overtaking wasn't easy.
No, it isn't at Hungary because it's so tight and twisty. If you look at this map, at the very bottom of the map, that's where the start-finish straight is. And you can see not that many long straights, so it is hard to overtake. You have to get your elbows out to overtake here. 14 corners, and really turn 1, turn 2 are the best places. Or the last sector, the last corner, on the second last corner, the penultimate corner, those are the sort of corners where you can try and mug someone, just dive down the inside before they reach the apex. So it is possible, but you do have to get your elbows out.
In the overall championships, I'm just seeing if Chester Lamb is out there. He is. Chester Lamb from Hong Kong, as he just pulls off the side of the circuit. He's second in the overall championship standings, and it's about time we had some Hong Kong winners really showing. We had Triple L, Leon Leo Leung, didn't we? But not too many others from Hong Kong have done it. I was expecting more of a challenge from these guys.
Yeah, Triple L, I think he won copper class once, definitely won bronze once with that great battle. I think it was a good battle. I can't remember who it was with at the moment. It escapes me. And we have had some really good Hong Kong drivers, and there are some world-class Hong Kong drivers out there that compete in the RGP we haven't seen for a while. Jonathan Wong, was it Lat Yam Law?
Yes.
Also,
in the endurance class.
In the endurance class. But yes, at the moment it's just Chester and Jaden Ng from Hong Kong who are upholding Hong Kong honours.
P2 in the overall championship at the moment for Chester. Still got 3 minutes to go, so an opportunity for us to really whip around the personnel. Who is there? Imran Zuhaili. He had a win in the copper class. This step up in class to him. How did he do last week? He wasn't in the top 10, was he?
No, he's still very young, very new to the sport. So he's a very inexperienced driver. I think he'll be mid-pack today in bronze. You know, he's right at the front at copper, be mid-pack here today. And actually, Des, when we talk a bit about the cars, you know, obviously this is GT4 cars. It's a multi-make championship, means there are more than one make. Watching Zuhaili is in the Porsche. Who else has been quick? I think the Filipino drivers, they love the Lotus, don't they? They're always in this, is it Lotus Elise? I'm not even sure. But they love the Lotus GT4 car, and they especially like the black one. Who else is out there? Villanueva, he's another guy that likes the Lotus. Quite a nimble car. Not as quick down the straight as some of the other GT4 cars, but it's nimble. And at a place like Hungary, you want a nimble car because it's all about the corners here.
Okay, so the Filipinos are taking this pretty seriously. Aldo Balagulan is a man who has been racing in endurance. He's in the top 10 so far in the championship this time, as he gives us a little bit of drifting shot. That's one for the cameras there.
Yep.
Thank you very much, Aldo. But what do we expect from the Philippines? They've taken this championship seriously. We know they've got some terrific drivers like Voltes Seiko, we know, and the kids coming through. Are we expecting more from eRacing in Philippines?
Yes, I mean eRacing is going up quite a big way, and so Balagulan,
yes,
going back in with the M4. It's not a very popular car this season. It was last time we ran in GT4 here. A couple guys in the Audi. Oh, look at that! What is that? That's a KTM. They're just in going out of shot earlier on. But a lot of Filipinos, like you mentioned, in the Lotus. They do take it very seriously. The amount of Filipino drivers into the sport, you know, just it's kind of exploding there, and some really top-class drivers. You know, Luis Moreno, who's raced here with us before. He's not in Global Edition this time.
Inigo, who had a good time in
Inigo
last
Anton.
week.
Inigo Anton's not as experienced as Moreno, but in my view, I think he's probably the best Filipino sim driver at the moment. And he's winning in the real world. He won the Toyota sporting class or something recently. So you have a lot of these really good Filipino drivers. We were just talking about the Audi. There we go. Nazir Azman in the Audi. He is sick today, so I am a little bit surprised to see him out there. He promises me it's not COVID, but maybe we should put our masks on.
Is this sick, or is this millennial sick where he's sick?
Oh,
You know what I mean?
is he a millennial? Yeah, he's a millennial. I think he's a Y generation. It could be a millennial sick. Not like in your generation, eh, Des?
Anyway, enough small talk. We are about to get into qualification, which will again be a 6-minute qualification opportunity for the drivers to pick up points. The top 5 drivers pick up points, as well as getting at the front of the grid for the for the first sprint race. And then there's a reverse grid race, which is the top 15 are in reverse order for race number 2, which is also a sprint. Right, let's follow Yang Ming-Chu. I think he's the man we need to follow because he is the championship leader. He's the copper defending champion who comes through into the bronze class, but he's actually pretty slow off the line. Nico Sage then. Let's go with the young Frenchman in the Audi, because you seem to like the Audi for this particular circuit.
I do. I'm a bit biased, so. But yes, if you watch Nico Sage right now, Frenchman, look how young he is. I can never remember their ages. I think he's 10. Young. Anyway, let's ride on board with him. Down to turn 1. Longish hairpin. Got to make sure you don't apex too early, but not too late either. Good exit out there. Short drag under the bridge to turn 2, and you can see the branding there, E1 Championship, top championship in the region. And then turn 2. A lot of understeer through this corner because the road does dip away, but he seems to handle that fine. Gets out of that corner nicely through turn 3. Should be easy flat through turn 3 before coming up to turn 4. Turn 4, this left-hander here is super fast. It's a very fast corner. You've got to carry the speed through that corner, and he carries the speed nicely through the corner before hitting turn 5. Turn 5 is a long hairpin. It's all about minimum speed. You'll need to carry a bit of throttle through here. Ooh, gets a wiggle on there on the exit, but catches it nicely. And then 6 and 7, this chicane, very, very tight chicane, have to use a lot of curb there. And he does. Nicely done by the Frenchman. Youngster that he is. Now through turns 8 and 9, well into the middle sector here. These corners just kind of follow each other. John Lacey famously called it a go-kart track. Before turn 11. Turn 11 is quite quick.
It's fastest through sector 1 and 2.
And you've got to carry a lot of speed here. He's not using enough exit, not enough road at the exit. You can carry more speed through there. Before braking for turn 12. Very tight corner, very easy to mess this corner up and run wide. But Sage has got it perfect. Now, 2 more corners to go. Turn 13 and then turn 14. These long hairpins. You want to try and carry a bit of throttle mid-corner, which he doesn't quite do. That would have cost him a little bit of time. Now the last corner. You can many different lines through here. He's gone for the early exit, holding the apex all the way through. Early apex, shall we say. And he comes across the line.
He was fast, but he's not fast enough. He's, he's into P3. Only 700ths down. Andre Jansen Villanova from Philippines is the man who's fastest. A 1:54.6. There's only 3:25 left in qualification, so everybody needs to be out on their fast lap at the moment. I do want to keep an eye on Chester Lamb, though, Alex, because I do feel that the Hong Kong racer was so impressive last week. He earned second place in the round standings. How's he going at the moment? He's sector 1. The time sector is going to come up pretty soon.
Track limits. Track limits. He had track limits there, so his lap time was invalidated. So let's see, 3 minutes ago, he's got just enough time to start another lap. Yang Ming Chu, he's not done a lap yet, so he probably had to restart. This is the championship leader, so both the guys fighting for the championship under pressure here in qualifying.
Sector 1 time will come up in just a moment. Very bottom of your screen. Sector 1 time for Yang Min Chu is...
He comes across the line. Purple.
3/10.
Wow, that's a huge chunk. Huge chunk in one sector. 3/10 there by Yang Ming. See if he can hold on to the end. Well, he's actually driving at the academy right now, and you can see... got lots of support in the academy. As I think that's Sandy in the background there, cheering him on. And then now we go through turns 8 and 9, looking super clean. His driver is a very clean driver. You know, he's very good with the throttle. He's able to get the full throttle very early in the lap, very early in the corner, shall we say, which means he has got the rotation down. And these GT4 cars, you always have a lot of understeer. But Yang Ming's got the rotation down. Look, he's more
half
road.
A second up, Alex.
Wow, half a second up. And I was just saying, through turn 10, used a lot more road than Nico Sage, which so it meant he could carry more speed. And this should comfortably be quick enough for pole, with only 1 more corner to go.
Villanova currently a pole, 1:54.6. There's a possibility of getting inside 1:54 here for Yang Ming Chu, the championship leader, is fizzing his way around the Hungaroring. So Yang Ming Chu, the time as he comes in, it is a 1:53.7, which is faster than Francis Matrio, but what is he?
Wow.
7/10 faster.
Wow.
7/10 faster on a lap. That's phenomenal.
No one's going to get close to that. We were worried thinking about Chester Lamb. Chester Lamb, he's out. He didn't go quicker. He must have messed up his lap. Jaden Ung, another driver from Hong Kong in the Porsche, he's still out there. He hasn't set a lap, so he's also under big pressure to do it. Oof, bit of a wiggle there. Audi, oof, no, that's not going to be quick. So we'll come back to him later. But what about Jansen Villanueva? He's still in a lap. 47 seconds to go. He's on a quicker lap, although he's still 2/10 off.
But he's quicker than he was before. There's an opportunity of him getting up into P2. 54.599 would get him up into P2, and he's 4/10 quicker. So not only, Alex, is he close to getting P2, he's not a million miles away from P1. We'll find out. Sage Nico gets into P2. Matrio
nice.
P3, Villanova. Will Villanova be able to improve that P4 before the timing is up? At the moment, Yang Min Chu, though, a class apart.
Yeah.
3/10 quicker than Nico Sage.
Yep.
Matrio, Villanova isn't able to improve his P4. Nazir Asman picking up the final point in P5.
Good job.
Chester Lamb P10 in the end.
Well, a disaster for Chester Lamb. But Nazir Asman with a great lap there. He'll be very happy with that. Wow, so Villanueva was on a quicker lap, but he ran out of time to complete that lap, so he stays P4. But Nico Sage, wow, popping up at the end, only to do a great lap there. So, again, battle of the youngsters.
Yang Ming Chu, though, he set himself up. I think you noticed very early in season 6 that he shouldn't have been in copper class.
Yeah.
Even now, he shouldn't be in bronze class. This guy should be going up the categories pretty darn quickly.
He's improving so fast. Saw his father the other day. The father's looking at me incredulously, like, was he really that good? And I'm like, yeah, dude, for the amount of prep he puts in, the fact that he doesn't have a sim at home and has to come to the academy to drive, he's improved at a very fast rate.
Alex with sales technique as well as academy skills. Very
Absolutely.
good.
Well, the reason we do this is not just to enjoy the entertainment of guys racing, but also to coach them and teach them so the general standard in the Asia-Pacific region gets better and better and better.
Axel Sports is high on the agenda there. You can see it. It is above the start-finish line. But Alex deserves all the credit for bringing ERGP to our screen. Season 7. We are about to get underway. Race number 1. Yang Ming Chu on pole in the Porsche, in the beautiful yellow and blue Porsche. When the red lights go off, we will be underway. And Yang Ming Chu gets off to a smooth start, but it's not too bad from Sage either. Look at that, Alex Young. Nico Sage got an absolute flyer, and it is the young Frenchman who leads Yang Ming Chu going into the first corner.
Wow, great start in the Audi there by Nico Sage, and really, really good. Yang Ming tried to cover the line by going to the inside, but in the end was it was a little bit too dodgy, really, wasn't it? Because he just got a little bit too wide.
Chris Chu also off to a good flyer as well as Francis Matrio. So Matrio for the Veloce Ragazzo team, Chris Chu for Element Motorsports in the Lotus, looking good. Oh, Sue's flown off there.
Oh gosh, I think it's
It was Villanova.
Disaster for the Philippines driver.
So Villanova did disappear. So it's Sage who leads. What a start that was from Sage, because Yang Ming Chu didn't do anything wrong. Sage just had some power boosters on to get to the first corner first.
Yeah, really sweet job by the Frenchman. And I don't think he's won in the copper class, in the bronze class before. He has won in the copper class, but he's never won a race in the bronze class, if I remember correctly. Could this be the day for Sage?
Well, what's the lead now? 7/10 already. What a fast start it was. He was quick in qualification, but a fast start as well.
Yeah.
And Yang Ming Chu is being left a little bit in the wake, and he's leaving Matrillo in the wake. In fact, it's a bit of a procession. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Edward Wong has been able to hang in, and so has Chris Chu. Let's just go down, because Chris Chu in the beautiful racing green Lotus is just forced out. Can't do that to a racing green Lotus. There is a law against that, Chester Lamb.
Yeah, that law is green cars go slow.
No.
But oof.
Oh, Chester Lamb. That is called using the circuit to its absolute maximum.
It's not bad though from Chester Lamb, isn't it? He's gone from 10th to 5th in 1 lap.
I tell you, he's a terrific racer. Last week we saw plenty from him. Here he is. On board with Chris Chu. In fact, let's see if we can get Chester Lamb. There's Chester Lamb, both in the Lotus. In front of him, he's got Edward Wong, Francis Matrio, Yang Ming Chu, and Nico Sage. Sage has got himself a hefty lead. Yang Ming Chu is coming under pressure for P2, Alex, from Francis Matrio.
That's right. So, Matrillo there, maybe you can snatch second off the young Malaysian. You know, the Porsche and the Lotus are very quick cars here, as we see. I have to say also a bit of a shout out to Edward Wong in P4, because Edward Wong is in the unfashionable M4. This was the car to use in the first Global Edition when we ran the GT4s, but it's a little bit old in the tooth right now, and not many people pick it. So Edward Wong's still trying to make it that M4 work. Oh, it runs wide though, very wide. And Chester Lamb's just got to feel that Lamb's going to get by him soon.
Yeah, Chester Lamb is looking very nimble. I think that's the adjective that you used on this Lotus. It really is nimble around the Hungaroring on these tight little corners as well. And the fact it's short straights as well. So Chester Lamb in P5, if we ever catch him up on the camera, which we do. Chris Chu has the bird's eye view, the grandstand view of Chester Lamb, trying to go round the outside of Edward Wong, and I think he's going to make it stick. Chester Lamb indeed is up into P4, the Hong Kong racer. That's a good maneuver. Oh, and then tries to hold on as Edward Wong didn't seem to like that move, but Chester Lamb is able there. The switchback attempt from Edward Wong. Good racing This is good competitive stuff, and tell you what, Edward Wong has got the inside line, and when they come to the end of this long straight, if he's able to stay close, he may well have the right line to take into the corner.
Yeah, braking now for turn 1. Ooh, is he close enough? He's not really close enough, but Chester's just going to brake super late, try and give him some space at the apex, which he does. A little bit of argy-bargy, but now Chester gets a good drive out of turn 1 and is comfortably in front. Well, not comfortably, but there is a bit of daylight between the two of them as they brake for turn 2, and Edward Wong sends it down the inside. Whoa, and somehow makes the apex as well, so that was a super good move by the Malaysian.
Really, really good racing going on between those two. Meantime, look at these two disappearing over the horizon. Nico Sage, the young Frenchman, in the Audi. You said the Audi would work here. I ought to listen to you more often, Alex. I really ought to. Yang Min Chu in P2. He's in the Porsche, and behind him you've got Francis Matrio. We've got to stick, though, with that Wong versus Chester Lamb battle. This is personal between these two now, isn't it? They're having a real little pop at each other.
They are. Chester Lamb would be annoyed that he didn't defend, allowed Edward Wong the chance to get back that position. Because Chester doesn't want to be there fighting for fourth position. He wants to get up on the podium because, you know, he's second in the championship and he needs to close down that gap to Yang Ming Chu.
Behind them, the racing green of Chris Chu. Again, just has the bird's eye view. He's under pressure from Nazir Asman and Dave Smart. But this really is the battle. Chu indeed close in on the battle there of Chester Lamb. And indeed, Chu is worth keeping a little eye on because while Chester Lamb has got eyes on Edward Wong, Chris Chu can see both of them. And he can see when they're making the move and when there might be an opportunity just for him to slip through.
Like you said, having a watching brief from this great batter, I'm sure he's thinking, should I try and stick my nose in there or should I just wait for them to take each other out? Because if he can wait for them to take each other out, that'd be an easy move to make.
We are now on lap 4, 9 minutes remaining. Chris Chu is still in P6 at the moment. Let's go back to Nico Sage.
Yeah, Nico Sage there. Look at the even gaps there. Yang Ming has managed to lead Matrillo a bit and close down the gap ever so slightly to Nico Sage. But Matrillo there in P3, he has to be careful not to lose too much of a gap to Yang Ming because, you know, he's still in a chance. He can still win this race from third position, but if the front two disappear away from him, that's going to be game over for him. Anyway, Nico Sage in that blue Audi. Here we go through turn 5. Oh, Yang Ming gets a slide on there. You can see he just got a bit of a tank slapper through that corner. Let's ride on board with him again. And you can see it, look at him braking for the turns 6 and 7. That he's been super aggressive right now, getting some tank slappers on, but he wants that win. He's not happy with just leading the championship. He doesn't want to settle for second position. He's going to try and take the win still.
Where was Nico? Nico picked up 20 points in round 1. So Nico, if he get, and where is he? Has he got the fastest lap? He must be pretty 154.8 for Nico.
Matrillo.
Matrillo 154.6.
So Matrillo's got the fastest lap at the moment.
In fact, no, Edward Wong. Oh no, Edward's 155.6. Yeah, Matrillo 154.6, fastest lap at the moment. And Matrillo's can't be out of the reckoning. He was 28 points.
And Edward Wong has just got a slow-down penalty for abusing track limits. So it's just a chance Chester Lamb has of getting past the BMW. You never know. Oh, Chester Lamb gets a bit of a sideways moment through the last corner. Does it slow him down on the front straight? Yeah, I think it does a bit because Edward Wong has managed to increase that gap to the Black Lotus.
It was almost like he drifted through, just got a little bit wrong. Still, Chris Chu not able to make any headway. I tell you who is closing in on Nico Sage, though. Yang Min Chu. He's closed the gap. It was 1.5 seconds at one stage, wasn't it? Now it's down to 3/4 tenths of a second.
Yeah, and I just have to mention the car going off the grass there in the background there. That's a car being lapped. I have to mention him because of the name. John Friday? John Friday. They're in last position. I think new to this sport. But anyway, back to the front. Ooh, Nico, he always has that sideways moment as he drives. Almost like he's out of the seat. But you can see him glance up to the top of the screen. He's looking in the rearview mirror. He knows Yang Min Chu is coming. And this is where you find out where you're made of. Will he panic? Will he make a mistake? Or will he keep it cool?
You're quite right. He is looking up in the wing mirror quite a lot. Is that something that you recommend, Alex, from your years in the cockpit?
Well, we tend to scold the karters who do that, because whenever you look behind, you start driving slower and you make mistakes. Same in the virtual world. So, but you have to know where the car is sometimes. So you know if you've done a bad exit or made a mistake, you have to have a look, because you need to gauge the distance and figure out if you have to defend. But the best thing to do is just focus. Oh, Yang Ming Chu goes down the inside from way back. Nico Sage with the cutback. But who's got the inside for this next corner? I think Yang Ming Chu is there. But oh, Sage does a great job going around the outside of him. So Sage holds on for the lead. This is the battle for the lead, ladies and gentlemen. But Nico Sage with a good defense there. But as I was saying, you need to know where the guy behind is, so you need to know to defend. But if you focus on just getting good exits, if you get a perfect exit out of the corner, you know you shouldn't have to worry about the car behind.
Chester Lamb has another moment again. That's twice on that corner, that final corner. He's just lost it a little bit and he loses momentum going into this home straight. 5 minutes remaining in the race. That is 3 laps remaining. So Yang Ming Chu has taken Nico Sage. There is a change of the race leader. As we went to P4, Yang Ming Chu has made his move and the championship leader has taken the young Frenchman.
Wow, so must have dived him at turn 1. Just got through in turn 1. Now, can Nico Sage respond? That is the big question.
So Nico Sage, whereas once upon a time it was all about what's going on behind him, now he has got the view of what's going on in front of him. It's a different mentality, but he's got to be aware that Francis Matrio isn't completely out of this, because the Filipino has pulled within 7/10 of a second, and this is a three-way race to the line. That's an unusual. Sage retakes the lead.
Yes, Yang Ming made a mistake there, ran in too hot, maybe looking in the mirrors. We're just talking about not looking in the mirrors, and it's allowed Nico Sage to get through, and now Yang Ming has to defend from Matrillo.
So Francis Matrio right up in that little battle. So Sage, he made one mistake and got punished, but he's now back in the lead. He's just got to keep his composure, just in inverted commas, for 4 minutes as Yang Ming Chu has a look down the inside. It really is a good battle for P1 this. These two are the quickest racers, but Matrio is just ready just to pounce just in case.
Yeah, it's not over yet, is it, Des? It's still looking like it's going to be very close indeed. And Yang Ming, we have to stay on board Yang Ming, because he had a great exit out this last corner on the previous lap to dive down the inside of turn 1.
Okay, so Nico Sage leads. There will be 2 laps after this. So we have just finished. Yeah, definitely 2 laps. Yang Ming Chu into the slipstream. What does Sage do? He can't make a secondary move. Yang Ming Chu goes around the outside, but goes very wide and will lose P2 almost to Matrio. Gosh, he took a gamble and the gamble failed. Just able to hold on to P2, but the drive is good and he can re-put the pressure back on Nico Sage.
Yeah, he has to watch it. When he leaves the track like that, we have a rule about safe entry back onto the track, and he came on really hard there and had contact with Matrillo, so he has to watch that. But it shows how much the youngster wants it as he tries an outrageous move around the outside.
I can tell you, Chester Lamb has retaken the P4 ahead of Edward Wong. So Chester Lamb in the Lotus has got himself in P4. However, he's probably a little bit too far down on the top 3 to really have a pop at a podium place, because these 3 are going to steam all the way to the line. 1.5 laps to go. Sage from Yang Ming Chu, from Francis Matrio. It is the Frenchman from the Singaporean, from the Filipino.
Frenchman from the Malaysia, from the Filipino. I don't think Yang Ming.
Oh, Malaysia, my apologies. Yang Ming Chu, wrong country.
Yeah.
Apologies.
But yes, look, Nico, I was amazed watching, because he looks like he's about to fall out of the chair. But yes, big pressure again. This is where he's weak. This third sector, leading up to turn 1, is where he's not as quick as Yang Ming. And Yang Ming always pulls in a little bit through these last couple corners. And let's see right now. Let's see from the bird's eye view, well, bird's eye view, shall we say, the cockpit view of Yang Ming as he comes through this last corner. See if he gets a good exit. The Porsche is a little bit quicker in the straight line than the Audi, I feel. And he's got a slipstream. Oh, he's close enough, isn't he? This is the last lap of the race, Des.
This is the last lap, and this could be the pivotal move. Sage defends very, very tight. Oh, Verstappen and Hamilton eat your heart out on that one.
Wow.
Yang Min Chu, has he got the drive? Oh, they're side by side. But Sage will have the line coming into this corner. Sage is still able to hold on. What a battle, and look at Matrio just waiting to pounce in case these two eat each other up.
Wow.
Yang Min Chu chasing the victory, chasing 3 in a row. Sage doing everything he can to stop him.
Yeah, Matrilla could end up winning this race, couldn't he? Because you could just see these two taking each other out. So they have to watch it. Oh, Sage has to defend. He can't take the usual line. He needs to look about defending each corner. Even this next hairpin, the chicane up here, he has to defend the inside because Yang Ming's going to come down the inside. Ooh, thought about it. Thought about it. Last minute, desperate stuff by Sage Nico as he tries to hold on to his first win in the bronze class. Like we said, he's won in copper before, but he's never won in bronze before.
Great finale. Well, these will be the 1, 2, 3, but what will the order be? At the moment, it's Sage from Yang Min Chu from Matrio. Sage, having got the lead back, has defended manfully. For one so young, he's done a brilliant job. But Yang Min Chu is a canny operator. Yang looks on the inside, uses the full width of the circuit. Sage is able to defend. Matrio can't get anywhere. Behind them, Chester Lamb is there. We are coming towards a fabulous finale at the Hungaroring. It is Sage from Yang Min Chu from Matrio. Sage around the final corner. Last hurrah for Yang Min Chu. Sage is safely through, and Nico Sage is going to take the victory. We look for the smile on the kid, and the kid gives us a big thumbs up, a big double-fisted cheer. Yang Min Chu in P2, Francis Matrio P3. Super duper racing.
Wow, that was so exciting. Let's see if we can talk to the young driver. Nico, what a great race. I hope you can hear us. That was so exciting to watch.
Yeah, it was very hard. It was very hard keeping the boys. I was very hard just being on the podium. I was just pushing insanely a lot to the final 3 laps.
Yeah.
I had so much pressure, but I did it.
Yeah, it was great to watch you defending. I was looking through the last 2 corners and I was thinking to myself, if he doesn't defend, Yang Ming is going to come straight down the inside. But fortunately, you did defend those 2 corners.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, we've got a reverse grid race now. Good luck for that one.
Thank you.
Brilliant composure for the interview as well. That's a damn fine interview.
Yeah, that's a super. I'd be, like he was falling off the chair. I'd be falling off the chair. So, great job by him. I'm watching on Zoom right now. He's off for his pee break, obviously. A quick toilet break between the 2 races. He'll have to hurry, though, because doesn't have much time. I can't remember what it is. I think it's top 13 reversed for bronze, but don't quote me on that. I can't remember what I set in the server, to be honest.
Well, we like the surprise, Alex. We like the surprise. Imran Zahaili, slow down penalty as Sage confirmed for the victory. Look at that, it is so tight. 0.3 of a second. Fastest lap though to Yang Min Chu. So he will pick up a bonus 2 points, so 22 points for him. And he did well as well in qualification, Yang Min Chu. So he will strengthen his lead up at the top. But I tell you what, Nico Sage comes into the reckoning. Francis Matrio, after a decent week 1, is adding a decent week 2. Matrio will be there or thereabouts. Chester Lamb, good drive from the Z Challenger racing car in P4. Got the better of Edward One. Chris Chu, once again, doing very nicely. Thank you very much.
Wow, that was a super race.
That was a great race.
Really enjoyed it. Super exciting. And super happy for Nico. That's his first win in bronze, like we mentioned. And, Yang Ming did not get everything his own way. He extends his lead in the championship, though. Yang Ming's looking very good for the championship right now. Back-to-back championships, if he can finish it off next week. Champion of copper, maybe possibly champion of bronze next week as well.
But we are only halfway through, Alex. The one thing I've learned in the 18 months of eRGP, you don't predict anything.
Yes, all you need is a disconnection, 1 bad race. There's only 3 rounds, 6 races to go. So in the whole championship. So just need 1 disconnection, and that's it. Your championship could be over and done.
Or run out of fuel, as Hayden Miller did in the Copper edition.
Absolutely. Well, okay, so it's a reverse grid for race 2. I think top 13 reverse. We set it randomly between 10 and 15. Here we go.
Okay. Red lights are on. On pole position, we've got Aldo Balagulan from the Philippines. Alongside him is Takaful Joystick I'm sure that's not a proper name, but Aldo is off to a decent start. Behind them, Jaden Ung and 10 Griffel. Villeneuve has got himself up into P4, but Balagulan, who we've seen in endurance races, a very consistent racer, will lose out P1, and it's going to be the Joystick who has the joy of being in the lead ahead of Ung, and Balagulan loses 3 places. Villeneuve up to P4, Griffel 5, Kelvin Pau 6, and Jaden Ung has actually got himself into the lead. That's good. Aggressive racing from FSA Racing's Audi, Jaden Young.
Nicely done. He's going to have a look at him, isn't he? Oh, doesn't get the exit though, has a lift through turn 3. Oh, it's going to be 3 side. This always results in contact, Des. No! Look who sweeps into the lead there.
Oh, somebody spun out. I think it was Takaful. Joystick has disappeared off the leaderboard because he was just barged off. So Balagulan has got himself into the lead. Takaful disappears down into P beyond.
Wow, and look at that. Nico Sage up to P9, and championship leader Yang Ming Chu all the way down in P16. So not a good start for the championship leader.
Well, that's a problem. The good news for him is that there are 13 and a half minutes to go. The 2 number 4s, one of them was the race, the championship leader. Here's Balagulan in the BMW. Now, we haven't really spoken about the BMWs and their performance. Edward Wong, we saw in the big Beamer, didn't have the pace to hold off the Lotus in the last race. Are the Beamers just too big and hefty for this circuit?
Yeah, I mean, it's the M4, right? It's not as sporty as the R8 or some of the other cars. So what the difference is, I mean, they all have the BOP and similar weight, similar horsepower. But the BMW, 2 things. A, center of gravity is higher. B, the frontal area of the car is bigger. Frontal area means the area that has to push through the air. You see it's quite a bit bigger. So they have the BOP, balance performance, which will bring the BMW into line, so the performance is almost the same as everyone else. But yeah, all things being equal, that BMW should not be running in front.
But it is running at the front just at the moment. Let's see how long it takes there. Villeneuve has got himself up into P2 for the Philippines. Kelvin Pau has made a nice little move into P3. The quiet Malaysian, we didn't really see an awful lot of him, as Jaden Ung has dropped down to P4, takes that place back from Kelvin Pau. But Kelvin Pau's a decent operator. Keith Griffel in P5 and Dave Smart in P6 in the very easy to see Oz New Zealand Racing orange vehicle.
Smart looking car, right?
It is. Nice livery in the BMW. BMW 1, 5 and 6 at the moment.
Okay. Let's see what happens. So we've seen Petrillo also is not a car that's had a good start, down in P15, quite far back. Well, we should keep an eye on Nico Sage right now. He hasn't made his way through the field like we expected, not like a hot knife through butter, but he's doing a better job of it than his championship rival.
In front of him, he's got Chester Lamb, Dave Smart, Griffel, and Kelvin Pau. So there is Sage, who won race number 1. This is very, very different. I've grown to really enjoy the challenge of you win a race and immediately you're penalised by going down to P13, as was the case here. It's just a completely different mindset. You've got to be a little bit more patient, but give yourself a chance as there's a spin in front. Chester Lamb spins out.
Oh, no.
Chester Lamb goes from P6 to P12, and that is a really, really big moment in his season.
Huge moment, huge moment. That's, you know, he lost a lot of points in race 1 today, and he needed to get more points back for the championship, and that's going to put him in a really difficult position.
So P12 at the moment. Up the front though, Aldo's BMW is still holding on from Villeneuve. So Philippines 1 and 2, Jaden Ung in 3, Kelvin Pau 4, Griffel in 5. So the BMW in the lead, Alex, seems to not have that many problems. Conditions haven't changed. There's no difference in the settings for this race too, is there?
No difference at all. It could just be coincidence. A lot of the BMW drivers did not have a good race in race 1, and having a better race in race 2. And let's also not forget reverse grid means that the guys at the bottom end of the top 10 are now at the front. But the big question is, can they stay there?
Kelvin Pau in P4. Nico Sage has got himself up into P6. So that incident for who's the Hong Kong racer?
Chester Lamb.
Chester Lamb. Incident for Chester Lamb has really helped Nico Sage. He's got got himself up into P6. Yang Ming Chu still down in P15 and doesn't look to have an awful lot of pace. That's Bernie Ronquillo, who was disqualified in race 1. Bernie's ahead of him. In fact, is the damage there for Yang Ming Chu?
Yeah, he's obviously hit someone quite hard. You can see the front bonnet is all wrinkled there. That will cost him a little bit of straight line speed as well. So this race 2 is going to be a bit of a long one for him.
There is the damage in all its ugly glory.
Yeah. Hopefully that wasn't his fault, because if it was his fault, I'm sure there'll be a protest his way and he'll slip further down the order.
Bernie Ronquillo in the KTM, not making life at all easy for him. It's a good choice in the KTM. Nice to see them coming in, but there's a place taken by Yang Ming Chu. 14 doesn't get you any points, only top 10 picks you points. Up at the front, Balagulan is suddenly coming under pressure from Ander Jensen as he starts lap 4. But these two have got a 2-second lead over Ung and Pau, and Nico Sage in the Audi. He is the man who is closing up into Kelvin Pau. Let's see how Sage is doing. Well, he's away from Griffel, but he's not that close to Kelvin Pau. He needs to just find a wee bit of magic, does the young Frenchman.
Yeah, but he's just set the fastest lap of the race, 55.1. And I'm sure they're going to go a lot faster right now because everyone's in traffic as they try and make their way up to the front. But he has got a bit of daylight, and you just got to feel by the end of the lap he'll be up behind.
Racer Villeneuve tries to take P1. Villeneuve is the new race leader. Villeneuve has got past Balagulan, so the BMW couldn't hold it all in the end. And it is Andre Janssen Villeneuve. Has he had a race win?
Yes.
Has he?
Definitely we've seen Villanueva with a win before. Definitely, I'm pretty darn sure he's done it in bronze. He had a really good bronze season a couple of seasons ago, but been a bit quiet since then.
So many races we've had now. We're over 300 in eRGP, so do forgive us the odd lapse of memory, but Villeneuve, good to see him up there. And for Philippines, well, they're taking this championship very seriously. And now Villeneuve's got ahead of Balagulan. He's flashed a second clear.
Yeah, definitely flashed a second clear. He got taken out in race 1, didn't he? That was the car on lap 1, I think, got taken out. So this is his chance to try and take the race win.
Sage into P4, got ahead of Jaden Ung. So this is a fine performance from Sage. Halfway through the race. He's still got halfway to go. He's got Kelvin Pau in his sights. He's just a second down on Kelvin Pau. There is Pau in P3. Sage is in the blue behind him. So the Academy racer, he's in a little bit of no man's land between Balagulan and Sage. In that scenario, Alex, do you focus on the man in front, or are you worried about the men behind?
Focus on the man in front. Just focus on trying to get up to him and overtake. It's too early. This is the last lap of the race and you're defending the lead, then maybe you start to go, right, I'm going to defend like mad. But otherwise, focus on the guy in front and try and close it down.
Now then, this is interesting. Yang Ming Chu really is struggling. Yang Ming Chu isn't going to pick up any points in this race.
No, I think the damage on his car is really bad. Because he's going backwards, isn't he? He should be making his way forward by now.
He's in P14. His last lap was a 1:54.5. That's quick.
That is quick.
That's the quickest of the season. That's the quickest.
So there's something. He must have made another mistake. Because he was in that pack of cars ahead of him and now he's behind them. He must have made a mistake. So Yang Ming's car may be damaged, but still quick. But a few mistakes creeping in.
Wow, 1:54.5. Fastest lap of the race. Up at the front, Sage is closing in on, Balagulan. Pau is closing in on Balagulan. So the BMW maybe did struggle. You got it right once again. And Kelvin Pau is just looking to pounce. Kelvin Pau had a reasonable first weekend of 18 points. He was only in the top 10 in race 1 before, but if he can get some decent points here, this will help his championship challenge.
Absolutely, and let's not forget also that he'll be racing in silver later on as well in the touring cars that will be coming up. So see how he does there as well. But yes, he'll want to finish on the podium regardless. He has got the pace, Pau. I think he finished runner-up in Copper a couple of seasons ago. He can definitely finish on the podium today.
There's a real scrum going on. The battle for P6. It's being led by Keith Griffel. He's in the orange and blue. Right behind him, he's got Nazir Asman. And then you've got Nazir Asman, Edward Wong, Francis Matrio, and Chris Chu. Chris Chu in the Lotus takes the different line away, but it's Nazir Asman. Who's slowed down there? Who's had the problem? Somebody's going backwards, or is he being lapped?
I saw, I think it was Clint Olaf spin to the inside at the last corner. I think that was him. Shame about that. But yes.
Trio up to P10. He's got Chu in front of him.
Trio spinning around.
Chris Chu.
Chris Chu. Oh, if that was a naughty boy. I've got a feeling Chris Chu will be looking at the replay file of that, trying to make a protest.
But it won't help Chris because he's disappeared down the leaderboard to P12 at the moment, alongside John McGregor. Matrio up to P9. Let's think Nico Sage. Wow. Yang Min Chu's now in the points.
Yes, so that argy-bargy lap when you saw a few cars go off has really helped him. He's gone from P14 to P10, and I'm not really sure he did any overtaking. There's other cars falling off in front of him. So, the championship leader back in the points.
And it's only 1 point. That means that the likes of Kelvin Powell, the likes of Nico Sage. So Sage won race number 1 here. He's out of the podium, but he's got 4 minutes, best part of 4 minutes to pull himself into a podium position. That's Kelvin Powell. He's close to. Tries to look down the inside. There's Nico Sage. He's after points, is young Nico, Alex.
Yeah, you see, so Nico can't sit here. If he wants to win the championship, he's got to take some points off Yang Min Chu while the going is good. So for me, he has to finish second. If he wants a chance of winning the championship, he needs to back up his first place in race 1 with second in race 2.
Well, as they come through, there will be 2 more laps to go. So Sage has got 2 more laps to get ahead of Kelvin Powell. That's his first task, and easier said than done, because Kelvin is just defending and Sage isn't going to be close enough, although he tries a... wow, that was an aggressive maneuver, and he's got himself into P3.
See, that's okay, see, because there was a bit of contact, but he was able to stay at the apex. He didn't run wide and push the car wide. So, and he was alongside. So I think that was hard, but legal. Wow, okay, up to P3 now. P2, could he take P1 even? No, it's not enough time, is that?
And Villeneuve is 4 seconds clear.
Yep.
Villeneuve is miles clear. At the moment, he's really got to worry about Kelvin Powell, because Kelvin is...
Not giving up.
Not giving up. Where are we? Nico Sage, that's where Kelvin is, compared to Nico Sage. Looking forward, Nico has got that gap between him and Balagulan. So P2 at the best, P4 would be a problem.
Yeah. He has special orders championship rivals behind him. Trilio's back there, Yang Ming's back there. The other Hong Kong driver, Chester Lamb's having a dreadful race in P15. So good stuff for Nico Sage in his championship quest.
Meantime, Nico has then got a slowdown penalty for track limits abuse. When's he going to have to take that? That might scupper his chances of a P2, because we are on the final lap now. Are we?
Yeah, no, one more lap.
One more lap.
Got 1 more lap and 2 more corners to go. Comes through the penultimate corner now, but this is the man of the moment for here at race 2. Villanueva serenely in front, 4.8 seconds in front. Why not keep pushing, mate? Make it above 5 seconds. And that's it, 1 more lap to go.
Okay, so now the real story is Nico Sage able to get a P1 followed by a P2? That will be his real target. He's not close enough on this long straight, and opportunities are going to be running out for Nico.
Yep. Yeah, BMW's quite quick in the straight line. You have to say the BOP certainly quite nice. But Nico, where's he going to make the overtaking move? You know, so they are on the last lap. He can't be too aggressive and send it down the inside, because he might end up with a 5-second or 10-second penalty.
He doesn't have to worry about Kelvin Powell anymore. Kelvin's disappeared, 1.5 seconds down. So this is a genuine scrap for P1. Okay. Aldo Balagulan from the Philippines in the BMW. Nico Sage, based out of Malaysia, but the young Frenchman run race number 1, looking to get through now. The Audi.
He has to try and make the Audi defend somewhere. If you make him defend somewhere, oh, he's close enough to have to look down the inside. Balagulan covers the inside, though, defends. Oh, around the outside. No, that's not going to work. Oh, Balagulan just cuts the track. I think he
That's
has.
a penalty, that, isn't it?
Yeah. If I was Nico Sage, I'll be shouting penalty. He's got to let me back through.
But is he going to say he was pushed there by Sage?
He'll say he was pushed there. And we'll have to go to the stewards. The stewards have to decide. But yeah, he definitely gained a lot there. So the drivers have to sort it out themselves. They'll send the protest video through, and the stewards will have a look at it.
In the meantime, we'll just keep... behind them. Let's have a look at Sage and Balagulan once again. Contact for the second time. Gosh, he's really having a pop, is Nico Sage.
That was a bit too aggressive, I feel. He might end up with a penalty of his own if he's not careful.
As the win is secured by Andre Janssen Villeneuve. Behind them in P2, Balagulan will come through ahead of Nico Sage. Kelvin Pau in P4, but Villeneuve is the man who secures this victory. He will pick up the 15 points for that. Fastest lap will go to, was it Nazir?
I think Yang Ming Chu, didn't he?
Yang Ming Chu, yes.
Crossed
Yang
up.
Ming Chu in P9. There's a
Ooh.
little bit of carnage. Yang Ming Chu decides to give us a highlight reel at the end of the race. Luckily, this isn't real life. But Nico Sage creeps into the wrecking, but Yang Ming Chu down in 9th, just 2 points.
Well, that's going to make it more interesting for the championship. Going to enjoy watching that. One more round to go next week, obviously. But yes, we don't have Villanueva on Zoom, unfortunately. Otherwise, we'd try and speak to him. But yeah, because he had a very good race, you know. Unlucky in race 1, but made amends with a fine victory in race 2. He's still busy celebrating. That's why he's not on Zoom.
Yang Ming Chu will, despite this 9th place, will certainly retain the championship lead. The fastest lap going to Villeneuve, a 1:54.4. Must have put that one in pretty fast, pretty late. So that's a 17-point race for Villeneuve. He'll move into the top 4 in the overall championship standings. But Nico Sage is the man who will go in with momentum into the final round next week and might fancy his chances of catching up Yang Ming Chu if he can replicate this form.
Okay, yeah. So,
further down, the problem for Yang Ming Chu, 2 points for him. And, well, that sets us up very nicely because the danger was that Yang Ming Chu was going to run away with that championship. So the fact that he dropped points and looked human really opens up the opportunities for Nico Sage. And my word, didn't the young Frenchman drive well?
yeah, and we've seen some great racing from bronze. We saw great racing from copper as well, but the intensity in bronze has definitely gone up a notch. And as we often see in these global editions, bronze do provide excellent racing. So this is going to be a great round to watch next week. So you'll have to catch it next week.
A reminder, we'll post the results on Facebook because the challenges and the complaints still come in, and Race Control might have things to say about the last 2 races that we've seen. But we change pace a little bit after a short break when we move on to the silver class. This is the eRGP Season 7.